Matt, after I think this is your fifth collaboration with Steven Soderbergh, is there any secrets between you? I guess you just cross out the looks and you know what he needs or what you want, or
Well, I mean, working with Steven there's always been a kind of a shorthand. I mean, he doesn't give a lot of, he doesn't, there's not a lot of chatter with him. So yeah, I mean, it's just, he's just a great guy to keep working with because he just does this at a level that very, very few people do.
Mark is a very likable character that at least I forgive him for what he does, which I think is not that terrible. He's stealing money from thieves, so
Right.
good for him. Do you agree with that?
Well, I mean, I think more, I think, you know, for this guy, he was going through it was a specific time in his life, and he had some issues. You know, I would never condone the fact that he, you know, the criminal behavior, but certainly you don't, shed too many tears for, you know, the company he's stealing from, given what they were doing at the time.
Do you think he had a compulsive disorder, or was he need to create his own reality? And he's very unique, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and he's you know, he's healthy now, and he's served his time in jail, and he's a president of a company now. So he's done very well, and he's healthy. But at that time, yeah, he was really ill, I think.
What is it that you enjoy the most about acting?
In this part, it's just the scenes themselves were so absurd. The things, and these things had actually happened, and the tone of the movie was so unique that it was a really fun job. The script is great, and the director's great, and the role is great. So there's really nothing else I could ask for.
Watching the film, it felt like the 70s, but it's the 90s in the Midwest. Do you think that in the U.S. we have different historical periods coexisting, or ideological?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good way to put it. I mean, you know, the Midwest tends to be a little behind, just say fashion-wise, you know, which we bumped up against in trying to create the look of this movie. You know, there's a different look in the Midwest than you get in New York or Los Angeles, and yeah, I mean, so yeah, you know, it does feel like you're in a different country sometimes. You know, and in fact, I've, you know, having worked a lot in Europe and in a lot of the big cities in Europe, you know, you can feel like there's more in common with our big metropolises and say Berlin or London or Paris than say New York versus, you know, a very small rural town in Missouri or Indiana, or, you know.
And what's the biggest aspect, I mean, the toughest aspect of being in the public eye and lack of privacy? How do you deal with the...
Well, I mean, I've been pretty fortunate, I think, because my wife isn't a celebrity, and you know, she's what we call a civilian. So
normal.
Normal. Yeah, there's much less interest in our life. I think those magazines, those tabloids, they're selling really scandal and sex, and that's what. And so if your narrative is, well, you're married and you have some children, and you know, people go, you know, so maybe they come and they get an updated photo every few months, but there's no point in following us around because, you know, the paparazzi will die of boredom, you know.
And what keeps you going? Is it passion, the need to work, or workaholism, or just interest?
No, I don't think it's workaholism. I think I genuinely love making movies. I really love it, and it's fun for me. It's a joyful thing for me, and so I you know, that's why I keep doing it. Yeah.